Hello and welcome to Onesies, a podcast of onesies and wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew,
My name is Emily.
and we are back talking about the 2025, though Kevin Bacon's playing the same age he would have played in 2005. Uh, Holy shit, he is.
Pretty
Uh,
close, yeah.
I don't think the ladies would be like, I'm 50. I don't think any of those people would do that. Anyway, Amazon Prime 2025, The Bondsman. We are on episode 4 entitled Erdos. Erdos is an earth demon who feeds his victims earth.
Bum, bum, bum.
Don't
And
worry,
it's
it's
pretty
not
gross.
important. It's gross, but not important at all.
Right.
Okay.
Except where the demon goes and how he kills that guy. That's important. Knowing that is important
Well,
to
that's
track him
fine.
down.
Well, that and also like how he kills the other guy is important because we're getting the first hints of a real subplot
Yeah.
arc, which is going to go unresolved because the show's only got 4 more episodes. But we do get Jocelyn Purdy back, which is Jolene Purdy,
Very
sorry,
briefly.
which is very briefly and sadly, the implication is she is far more interesting than anything that's happening with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Okay. We begin the episode with now, this episode is also a milestone because Black people get to talk.
Yeah.
And like,
Also, two women get to talk without a man,
but they're talking
but
about
they're
men,
talking about men. I was happy to just see them talking alone in a room together.
especially when one of them goes, "Hey, we actually do have a relationships outside what everybody's seeing on the show, right?"
Yeah.
Andrew and Emily, you're paying attention.
Yeah.
You notice this 4 episodes in. No wonder this didn't. I like in terms of um in terms of streaming series, it's very clear to me why this didn't get picked up again.
Yeah.
Okay, so
A sheriff's deputy is eating some kind of barbecue sandwich or something outside of a food truck. First of all, very small town for a food truck.
very
Very,
small
very
town
small town.
for a food truck. A lot more to go with this because he then shakes down the food truck owner.
So not only is he eating for free, we find out, he keeps asking for more, like more sides, more drink, more whatever. And then he shakes him down for money.
And when
And
the
the gentleman who's running the food truck, he's an African American gentleman. I've seen him before, but I don't know what his name is. Um, he's like,
Kevin Saunders,
okay. He was really good, but he's like, man, I got kids to feed. We're not doing so well. I've got a family, I've got kids, I've got a life. And the deputy says something like, well, this is for me to not tell anybody that you stole the food truck. It's unclear to me whether or not he actually stole the food truck from somebody or whether he's like a mobster, like making it up.
so I would like you to think about what it would take to steal a food truck
Yeah.
in this context. Because the person has the state of Georgia, if they actually have like letter grades for food trucks, I'm fascinated by a state that provides no support for its citizenry. Hi, I told you I could talk about politics, Emily. Um, Having fucking letter classifications for restaurants, like cleanliness
Food
levels, like
safety.
California
Yeah.
food safety. It's bewildering to me that this would be a thing if it
Yeah.
wasn't just abject corruption.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you steal a food truck and then fill out all the paperwork in your own name?
I don't know. I mean, I get it. I get it. But like this show doesn't use regular logic.
That's true. This show takes place in a universe where apparently God is real. So but we still don't actually know that. That has not been, we were promised that at the end of the first episode in the teaser reel for the season, of which there is none yet.
Yeah.
So then the cop goes to his car and is attacked by a demon from the back seat.
Yes.
Very gross sequence that I cheap and gross. The CGI,
Yeah.
fucking 1997 levels of CGI. It was really fucking bad CGI.
Yeah.
But
And
then,
he being taken over by this demon is clawing his neck because it's going through his mouth,
yeah,
presumably down his throat. So he's clawing at his neck and there's blood. It's not as gory as other things, but it's still like, ugh.
I figured you weren't gonna like that. Yeah.
Eh.
So, okay, now we then cut to Kevin Bacon waking up. Now, last time we saw Kevin Bacon, he was in the car and we got in the flashback to him burying the dead girl. We
Yes.
will find out a little bit about the dead girl, that some of it is okay to find out about now, but some of it should have been in the quote unquote pilot. It's just, again, this is basically a 2 hour and 10 minute movie with a bunch of garbage around it. Like
Yeah.
litter, not garbage necessarily, but just litter. Okay.
He gets out
So
of bed. He puts down a
a
videotape of
VHS
a VHS
tape,
of him and Marianne, his ex-wife, soon to be ex-wife, whatever, singing together on stage at the bar in town, the Boxcar.
which apparently we should have been paying a lot more attention to as a location.
I liked the scene knowing that Kevin Bacon does play music.
Yes,
Like
Bacon
it,
Brothers.
yeah.
Yes. So that was kind of cute. The fucking bewildering thing, again, with everything in this show and, the time space continuum. Couple things. He clearly plays this tape a lot. Like, this is what we should have seen in the
First
first
episode.
episode.
Yep.
He's getting up, he's going to do this, go about his day, get killed, whatever. There's no damage to the tape. And also, I didn't look hard enough. So VHS is a standard definition format.
Mhm.
If you go back in time, by back in time, I mean you watch something made before, I don't even know when, but probably the mid 90s, mid to late 90s. And you will watch the end of the movie and it will have a videotape to film presentation credit because you actually couldn't record playing a videotape on when filming on a film camera because of the different frame rates. So they had to
Hmm.
do magic. But you could always tell that it was still a videotape. None of that because this is just fucking CGI. This is just a cut to superimposition.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually look like somebody's in the audience filming it. It looks like a professional multi-camera performance recording. It's not, it's like there's panning, there's multiple edits, you get close-ups.
Does it look at all like it wasn't filmed the same day as the rest of the episode?
No.
No, it does not. They had this wonderful production done a week before when they broke up a week before the show starts.
Yeah.
It's it is cute because the Kevin Bacon, I was like, did he want to do? I don't know that he's ever done anything with his like musical shit like on film. Like I don't feel like it's ever really been incorporated. I'm like, did he want to fucking incorporate it into something? Because you could do that better than this. Like,
Yeah.
um, okay. So then he's moping around sad about that. Oh, we're forgetting the montage. I'm
The
sorry.
montage.
The montage.
Well, no, before that though, he's playing the video and immediately he walks to the window and
That's right.
we see the dead girl in the backyard. So now we're kind of putting together that maybe the scene from last episode when he's staring off into space is actually at his house. He's
Yes.
staring, remembering burying the dead girl, and now he's looking out the window in the woods, presumably the same spot, and sees her. Now she's presented like a demon, which I find weird.
She's also got bullet holes in her.
Oh, I guess I didn't get that close of a look.
which is a very strange, like, we were trying to figure out what Kevin Bacon could have done to go to hell, but apparently what it is he just fucking killed some white lady.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll find out about that. Maybe it doesn't make it this season. It presumably does because in the montage, Lucky out of nowhere will be looking at a missing persons poster for one Cheryl Dawson, who is the
Mm-hmm.
fucking chick that Kevin Bacon killed in cold blood by shooting. Apparently. So now, did he maybe shoot some chick on a bounty hunt gone wrong?
Maybe.
There's going to have to be some story to it because I don't believe that he couldn't get away with that in the state, in anywhere, frankly. Um,
At the same time, Marianne and the son, who's
oh
got a dumb
yes,
name I can't
this
remember,
fucking thing. Oh my God,
are
yes.
performing on stage, preparing presumably to go to Nashville.
Yes. Okay. The montage is over the song that's playing on the video. Half of the people in that montage are also in this scene on the stage in the boxcar of them practicing. Is it the same song? No, it's fucking not. It's the, you know who does musical numbers better than this?
Oh,
Kevin Smith. Clerks 2 musical number, fucking delightful.
the
This,
ABC on the roof with
yeah,
Rosario Dawson.
yeah. I actually like Clerks 2 quite a bit. It's incredibly problematic, but it also flexes that. And it is like, if you're going to dump money into Kevin Smith, that would be how you want to do it in a way, because he's not going above his limits. Okay, so
So we get the scene of them practicing music. The kid gets frustrated with something, runs off stage. Mom is like, "What's wrong with you?" He's got the yips. We find out later. His hand is cramping and he can't perform. And but we also cut to Grandma.
hold on. Sorry, we have to touch on the incredibly weird, especially considering how the episode goes. Mom is like, "This is your fucking father's fault. He's such a useless piece of shit. I fucking hate that guy. Lucky's the best." And the son's like, "I mean, that's a little extreme in this moment, isn't it?" She's like, "He fucking sucks." And he's just like, "Bye, Mom." And it's now we do get her upset that Hub got the kid arrested, so we actually do talk about that in a little bit. But
Yeah.
yes, we cut to Beth Grant, mom, or as I was thinking of her in this one, why is he calling his older sister mom? It would be such a better show if, like, she was just his older sister who had to take
Yeah,
care of his dumb ass.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that too.
it'd be
So
so much better.
she is doing some crazy illegal shit, which I love. She is creating a sawed-off shotgun. She is removing the serial number so it cannot be traced. And later we find out that that is the shotgun that was used to kill somebody that we
In the
saw killed.
first or second episode, the
Oh,
one where they
the
burn the
pastor.
guy
The
up. The
pastor.
was it the
It was the pastor. It was the same
yes,
shotgun that they used to kill
somehow,
the pastor.
which was in the second episode.
Second episode, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
The demons. Yeah, okay, continue.
but
Sorry.
we don't find out that until much, much later. But for the sake of this, she is being a fucking badass, doing that. At some point, Kevin Bacon is like, "Mom, where are you? I'm trying to reach you." And she's not responding because she's fucking being cool as hell. I
Okay,
love
so
her so much.
yes, it'd be so cool. Again, better show. I mean, the better show is if
She's
Kevin
also
Bacon.
she's also pulled some meth out of a
Yeah.
safe that she had.
Oh, is that what that was, Emily? Okay, so
I live in Hollywood, baby.
cool. Uh, so just had the great thing. Oh, the better show is if Kevin Bacon is trapped in hell and Beth Grant's got to hunt down the demons and Jolene Purdy's there to help her. That's also a better show.
Yeah.
Because for the budget,
Even though it's two women trying to save a man, but at least they're kicking ass doing it.
Oh my God, you just ruined something in my heart for me, by the
I'm
way.
sorry.
Everybody gets to
Poor
hear about it now.
baby. Poor baby.
Poor baby is upset right now because that sounds a little bit like how in the original Supergirl, she was going to rescue Christopher Reeve and he dropped out because he didn't want to be in captivity for the movie. And it just occurred to me that it was because he
He
didn't want to be
wasn't the
saved by the
star.
girl.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
want to be saved by
I
the
mean,
girl.
no, I mean, I sort of knew that it was because he wasn't the star. Like, I know who Christopher Reeve was. I didn't also know that he was that sexist. Like, that he, had that level of misogyny he was operating on. And it makes me very sad.
I'm
So thank
sorry.
you for breaking a little bit more of my fucking heart. Just a little bit. Thank you. Just crushing it. Okay, so Kevin
That
Bacon
was
gets the
my that
facts.
was my 2025 uh
Hey,
uh
you know what? If it makes you have a better 2025, I don't know that I can really
you
fault
know,
you for it. You know what?
breaking men's hearts. Even
You
if it's
know,
not like romantically, I'll take
just
it.
crushing the soul of men. We got it coming. Okay, so
We cut back to Hub, who is now in his office. He's received a fax about Erdos from whatever the company is called, and he's doing a Google or whatever looks like Google but not Google. And this is where we get the information that Erdos feeds people dirt, earth, whatever, and he has a location of where it was last spotted.
now, in the previous episodes, there has not been any of this location shit. We've
No.
had to go through map stuff like the meme, and we've even talked about it because it's like nonsensical time filler in this fucking movie of a TV show.
Yeah.
In this case, however, he either gets the location or he gleans it from his special internet search. Why they didn't just have him go to a website to help him? Why doesn't he go to fucking Pop Bonds or whatever the fuck the name of the company is, and he can search on there? Just something sensical, because instead, what you have is you have this redneck, you know, pulling out some Google foo that would impress a data scientist, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's senseless. But
But he
yes,
does have the instincts of a bondsman. So but we're not seeing any of that playing out. It's not like he's like, okay, likes Earth, da 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 da. Da. He just suddenly gets like a location, like a map pops up on the screen. He's not like typing in coordinates to find the location from the piece of paper. None of that we're seeing. So we don't actually know how he's doing it. It's very weird. But he knows where he's going now. Then we cut back to the boxcar, and mom is packing up her guitar and talking to the kid. And this might be where they're having the conversation about Kevin Bacon being a bad father, um, and how
and then
he spooked him, so now he can't play. And the kid's like,
yeah.
maybe dad was right. And she's like, shut up. He's not right.
So we just because I want to add this negativity, I will remind us all that previously Kevin Bacon and and mom. Okay, we need to come up with names. Grandma, mom,
Marianne is the mother of the teenage boy. Beth
yes,
Grant's name is like Birdie or something weird.
Kitty.
It's Kitty. It's like an
Okay,
animal.
yeah. God, Kevin Bacon is 66 years old. Kevin Bacon has the arms of 66-year-old man. He looks great, but he has the arms of a 66-year-old man. It's very
He's so
like
skinny. He's like so small that
it's
like
it,
it's getting sinewy, right?
it's getting sinewy, but like
Like Iggy Pop, like
right, but
sinewy.
there was muscle there for a long
Yeah.
time with Iggy Pop, and Kevin Bacon's too old to have the
Uh,
muscle. So it's anyway.
eh.
Sorry. We still don't know if Emily's going to see his penis, so we'll get to
I'm
see.
sure we're not going to see his penis. That's fine. We
Now
can
that
just
you said
watch.
that, four more fucking episodes of his penis. Kevin
I can
Bacon
just
loves showing his penis.
I can just watch that movie where the hot chicks make out in the pool and he comes out with his dick out. whatever that is.
Doesn't he fucking do a sword fight with Colin Firth in one of the movies?
Maybe that'd
There's
be
some movie,
cool.
I think there's another one where he shows his peen and Colin Firth's in it, and they're like seedy men, like manipulating the young women or something.
Oh, gross.
Anyway, hey, hashtag realism. Okay, so
So then we cut to Kevin Bacon at the same food truck.
you actually distracted me from bringing up that last episode we found out that mom wants the kid to do this because it's for her career, even though he's
Mm,
only 15. And dad was like, we said we'd wait till he was 18 because we don't want Nashville to eat up his young soul.
yeah,
So that adds a real flavor to this scene because that doesn't get brought up again. So, like,
right.
we found out last episode mom has been lying to the son to some degree about her understanding of Lucky's history, all sorts of things. Kind of pinning that because guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. It does not matter at all. What is this show? Where is this show going? Is sort
Yeah,
of the question. Okay, so we then cut to the box car where
we're
Marianne
already
goes up.
we've. Oh
We're
yeah,
already there,
yeah.
but we go upstairs
No,
where,
no, because the next scene is Hub at the
oh,
sorry
Jesus, I hate this show. Okay, you're
at
right.
the food truck,
Yes. So then we find out that Hub knows Little Duke, the food truck guy, is
and
not
he's
like, hey, you fucking stole this food truck, man. That's really weird. Dude has a line of customers. How would you steal a food? Anyway, so, uh, but the
Hub is asking him
fucking,
questions about the deputy who was there before. Again,
because
I
he
don't know
finds the
how,
car.
but we don't see that
Yes, we do. He finds the car, and it's
after
really
this.
stupid. Before he finds the car is up on the grass on a hill. The car door is open. Presumably, it's full of blood. I don't think we do anything with that. But then Kevin Bacon goes down and talks to Little Duke.
Okay, I mean, I guess I didn't. I'm literally watching it as it's happening, and I'm not seeing him seeing the car yet.
I swear he goes to the car.
So anyway, doesn't really matter. Then we immediately, I mean, these are like 30-second cuts. I feel like I'm watching fucking other dumb shit. We cut to Lucky who's scrolling through his phone. He's got the pictures that the pissy pants guy took of Beth Grant and Kevin Bacon burning the guy alive. Marianne comes in and is like, Kevin Bacon's an asshole. He's trying to fuck with the kid. I hate this. And Lucky pulls her in for a hug, tries to reassure her that everything's going to be okay, and then is like, I need you to see these pictures. And he is going to show Marianne the pictures of what they're doing, even though he doesn't know what they're doing.
You yelling man saying,
Oh,
Lucky,
yeah.
get out here. Your car's on fire. They check the window. Car is indeed on fire. They leave. Beth Grant comes in, plants the drugs, plants the shotgun.
Yes.
She's very quickly doing it.
Yes.
However, as she goes downstairs, mom comes in and
Marianne.
is like,
Yeah.
Mom Marianne and Mom Kitty. I mean, come on. Do you want me to use their names to respect them as women?
Yes.
Okay. Marianne and Kitty are now going to have their conversation that Emily loved, even though it gets an F on the Bechdel test. At
Yeah,
least it
it
doesn't
does.
get an incomplete.
I mean, it's the
They,
first time we see the two of them talking, and it establishes that they have a relationship again outside of Kevin Bacon,
the
really.
show,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, outside of what we've seen on the show. And so, even though they're just talking about Kevin Bacon and Lucky, like, I'm kind of okay with just knowing that they have a relationship.
okay.
Um,
So we find
Kevin
out,
Kevin
oh,
Bacon calls Lucky or calls Kitty. This is where he's at the sheriff's car. There is still blood in the deputy's
okay.
car.
So we,
Um,
okay.
and this is actually before she runs into Marianne downstairs, but it doesn't really
That's
matter.
why she's delayed. That
Yeah,
you're catching it. That's why she's
yeah.
delayed. Also,
Why
the
would you
food
if you're in the middle of doing something like this, something sneaky, why would you take a phone call? Why would you have your ringer on? That's just stupid. Must not
point
watch true crime.
One, must not watch true crime. Two, just gonna say it, Peckerwoods in Georgia.
The other thing I like about this scene where Marianne catches Kitty coming from Lucky's office is that the end resolution is if you get in touch with Hub for me, I will not tell Lucky that you were up in his office. Not only does she not ask what the hell were you doing, she is willing to cover, like she's more loyal to her former mother-in-law than she is to this new boyfriend.
Which is not the vibe we have gotten of this
No.
relationship since the pilot.
Yeah.
Since the fucking show has been going, mom has been positioned as adversarial and
Yeah.
nonsensically adversarial.
Yeah.
She is about to do a complete turn. And this scene, now that we are talking it through, is actually where that happened.
Now Marianne pulls out her phone and she has Hub's location on her phone. So she goes to track him down at a hardware store.
Because
It
Hub,
is it is empty. The parking lot is empty. It is dark except for like some spotlight somewhere. And Hub is wandering through the aisles of this thing, surprised to see her there. She's yelling at him in the meantime. And it's like, you idiot, you're on my family plan, you fucking cheapskate. That's why I can find you, because your location is on.
he has gotten this location by calling in to the sheriff's office
Mm-hmm.
and asking the desk clerk for the information while promising the desk clerk apple fritters. Pin in that.
And in that.
Which is actually, a really good pin for this show in a way. Like, I was like, holy shit, you guys watch this show? So there's also lines of dirt all over the floor, like big piles, running piles.
After she yells at him, he tells her to get the fuck out, and she sees these giant piles of dirt. And then a presumably somebody who works at the hardware store, because it doesn't look like it was open. I feel like if the hardware store had been open and a demon took over, then it would have been on the news, right? There would have been cop cars. So I think it was a staff member on the floor. His stomach is distended, and it's really bad makeup, like practical effects. And presumably he's been filled up with dirt, and that's how he kills people.
It is a shockingly short shot for what this should
It's
be.
Yeah, and Hub finds Marianne and tries to escort her out.
Are you literally just watching the episode and narrating it?
Yeah, well, I can't keep track of what scene
This
goes
was
where.
your pick. We're
I
watching the show
know.
because of you.
And they stumble upon the sheriff's deputy who comes charging at them, and the only thing that distinguishes that this is a demon, really, I mean, besides the fact that he's attacking people, is that he's got red eyes. That's
But only Kevin Bacon sees that. Which you see.
really. Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I keep forgetting that.
Why did you pick this show? I want to be nice next time, but also nice includes Miss Marvel, and I just kind of I might actually need inspiring show about brown girl superhero.
Yeah,
I might actually make you do it, actually.
that's fine.
Okay,
So
anyway.
Marianne gets involved, and she throws a pickaxe in his back,
Yes.
and then Kevin Bacon shoots him. So I'm confused why it's so easy to kill a demon.
Especially since Kevin Bacon shoots him multiple times at the beginning.
Yeah.
And he still is running. Now, so for those of us who are paying attention, when they see the cop, Marianne's like, oh, good, a fucking cop. And Kevin Bacon's like, no, honey. And she's like,
it's
hey.
not because it was dark and he was wearing the uniform that she.
But he's obviously pouring the dirt out of a bag. Like, this is very intricate nonsense that we'll get a reference to, but also just where they cheap out on time and attention in this show. Hashtag bad show, but maybe a good show Bible. Who knows? Okay. ChatGPT came up with a great show Bible. Okay. So she's like, oh, good, a cop. He's like, no. Takes out his gun. Cop starts running. As he's running, she sees something that spooks her. And so then Kevin Bacon shoots him multiple times, does not stop him. Kevin Bacon, the cop, then tackles Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
She's freaking out, realizing that it is there's something going on. Like she's got to help Kevin Bacon against the cop, stabs him with the pickaxe. During that conversation with Kitty, Marianne talks about how she knows what the tips and tricks of the what are their name? Halloran Bonds trade are.
Yeah.
Again, older sister, Marianne helped out bounty hunting as a youth. Wayward youth. Such a good show.
So
Such
much
a
better.
good show.
I would watch
Okay.
that like 20 years before the
Something.
kid's around, and then
Yeah.
she has to stop because she has the kid.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have to, but she does.
But right. I
Um,
mean, just like the layer of like
yeah.
adrenaline junkie from like the translating a live music performance into adrenaline rushes and like it being an addictive relationship between the two of them. Actual potentially good show.
And
Um,
and because I don't know why demons keep escaping from this one little shitty town in Georgia, like if they were a band and they were bounty hunting demons, it would make sense because they're traveling around like Poker Face. We were just talking about Poker Face
yeah.
off pod, like just traveling around and they stumble upon demons. Like perfect, perfect. Or is that a little too much like that other show with the two brothers?
Considering that's the show where everybody ships the two brothers, I feel like this would be a much more wholesome alternative. It's fucking true. And it's like every time I read it, I'm like, wait, am I really reading this? And it's like, no. For some reason, people who watch Supernatural want the brothers to be fucking. It's
They're
weird.
they're good looking guys, but yeah, that's creepy. And then the
Because it's
angel guy,
not
I only watched like one season of that. I
okay.
didn't watch the whole thing. So, but then the angel guy shows up and then they're all shipping all of them like a throuple and it's like they're still brothers, guys. Very weird.
Very weird. Okay, we're not watching that show. It
But
probably is a
but
better show than this show because
oh,
people like that
definitely.
show. Okay,
But let me go back to my original point. I don't know why it's so easy to kill these demons
yes.
because if you remember last episode, the cheerleader, she gets shot and she dies.
Yep.
We know that the demon, I mean, from later on in this episode, that the demon cannot cause any like physical chaos without manifesting in a
Right.
human body. So, like, can't the demon just escape before the person dies and then pass on to another person? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about Scientology and Thetans.
You might also be thinking of a better show.
I might also be thinking of a better
Yeah,
show.
you're thinking of better writing. Okay, so
It just seems too easy to kill a demon.
yeah, so the cop turns on her, Marianne, is gonna kill her. Hub shoots him in the head, he's dead.
He's
He
dead.
cop bursts into flames off screen and they
Yeah.
run away from it. She's like, what the fuck's going on? And Hub's like, I'm gonna tell you everything, honey. And
We get a
then
prolonged shower scene with her. She's like,
we get a prolonged shower scene with her where she's having like a panic attack or
rightly
coming
so.
down off of a panic attack. Kevin Bacon has at some point told her the whole fucking premise of the show. So we don't get that scene. Instead, because again, this is a poorly written show, we get to hear them talking about it, where she's like, is that really all true? And he's like, yep. And she's like, wait, so when you said Lucky tried to fucking kill you, he really did? And he's
And
like,
he's like,
yeah.
yep, slit my throat.
And she's like, wow, should have listened to you, I guess. And it's just like, so we're again, you know, what is that term? Hicksploitation. We've got these actors. We've got Kevin Bacon, who is, I was thinking about this as I was watching it. I have loved Kevin Bacon since, like, consciously since, like,
Close.
Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen intentionally been like, I'll see a Kevin Bacon movie since Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've seen earlier stuff to varying levels of success, but I've always like I tried watching Following for fuck's sake. That show,
James Purfoy. I put that together after we talked about it last week. I was like, wait, he was in that show with Kevin James Purfoy. That was so fun. I liked that show.
fucking disturbing. It's disturbing
It's
that you like that
disturbing.
show,
Yeah, I
given the
know.
context of the show. Okay. I found it unpleasant. Anyway,
I love
uh,
cult shit.
well, there you go. Um,
It's my deep rooted knowledge of Scientology.
and how it affects demonology in the Bondsman universe. The Thetans are running loose. Well, I doubt we'll get that complicated with the payoff later,
Yeah.
but if there is a payoff. So but she knows everything, and she's like, well, fuck, I gotta break up with this dude. I gotta fucking get out of this house. He got us a great house. You're really fucking my shit up, Kevin Bacon.
So here's the thing. She is in a weakened emotional state, having just witnessed and experienced what she just experienced. At no point does she even question it. It's not like, you fucking liar. You're just out. You've been out to get lucky since day one. You're just jealous. There's none of that, which is fine. I don't necessarily like that, but there's no questioning that this is what happened. It's not like, prove it. It's not like, show
No,
me something.
because I mean, she has the experience with the demonic, demon possessed demonic cop,
But she couldn't
and
see it. She was only seeing him as a cop coming after her.
presumably his ability to survive maiming and then bursting into flames convinced her.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe, but we don't see that
But we don't
because
see it.
that's a show centered from her very obvious good perspective. Can you imagine if this was the pilot? If the pilot was
If
she
this was
was
the pilot, I would be so much happier.
right. Like this should be the second half of the pilot.
Yeah.
It should be compressed down to what we're about to see. It is basically the justified pilot. Okay, so down to once they get out of there, they go back to the boxcar where there's the cops are still investigating the flamed out car
Mm-hmm.
because this has all happened in an hour and a half. This is another interesting thing about this show is the severely limited present action. And if really you wanted to do this in
Mm.
like
Before they go back to the boxcar, he calls Jolene Purdy.
that's right. When she's showering, he calls Jolene Purdy, who's like, "Don't fucking call here. I am
How did you
having a
find me?
great show." And he's like, "I'm a bondsman. I tracked you down. Haven't you seen Dog?" That's only slightly worse than Kevin Bacon's accent. Okay. So, which is really weird. But isn't he from like Connecticut? Like
He's from Colorado.
he's like just
Dog.
cause
Oh, wait. You're talking about
Kevin
Kevin
Bacon.
Bacon, not Dog the Bounty Hunter. Okay.
Not-
Yeah, he's from Connecticut or something. I don't remember.
Okay. So, and for a long time, he and his wife were exceedingly wealthy, and it was all her money. And then he lost all of it, or not he, they lost all of it under pyramid scheme guy in the aughts
Bernie Madoff, which
and
is why
Bernie
we're
Madoff,
watching
the
Bondsman.
bondsman.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kevin Bacon should be skiing with his lady, dancing in their cabin, which they did during the
Oh, they're
pandemic.
so
They're
cute.
so cute, and
What a
it's just like
wholesome, loving
it's
couple. I love them so
bewilderingly how
much.
wholesome it is. They've been together since 1984 or something. It's fucking wild.
They're so
Um,
adorable.
yes. So, and they love the gays. So, calls Jolene Purdy. She's like, "Hi, I have a regular life with my kid, possibly kids. This is the best show in the world because I assign people to hunt demons and I'm a fucking like HR person or something. Like, this would be a great show. It would be delightful, wonderfully episodic, great potential for guest stars.
You know, I
Continue.
I thought so when I first saw it too, the Jolene Purdy scene. It looked like she had an apron on, she was in the kitchen. I don't think it is. It looks more like she's like in some kind of like a garage. Like it looks like there's chemicals in the background. It doesn't look anything like a kitchen. But my first thought was that she was in a kitchen. So what I'm hoping is in the next 4 episodes, there's a little bit more about who she is and what she does and da 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 da. That would be a good show too.
But he has called her because he has discovered that there are rituals going on And she's like, demons don't
Mhm.
do rituals. And she's like, he's like, don't you know anything? Demons do all the rituals. And she's like, they can't be. And he's like, they are. And she's like, well, shit.
He's discovered some symbols somewhere. I don't even remember seeing
We
them.
didn't see them. It's so stupid. I fucking hate this show in a lot of ways, Emily. I really like I it's it's not condescending because it's not competent enough to be, but like it is frustrating on a level that we usually don't experience here because the shows we watch tend to be like network shows with
Laugh
cons
tracks and
laugh tracks, but also just like or syndicate like Dracula. We had no expectation of Dracula the series. Like Dracula the series didn't have ChatGPT able to check its script. You fuckers. This was written last year. You could have fucking run it through ChatGPT and said, "Hey, any obvious fuck ups?" And it would have been like, "Yes, so many, so many."
how many
Okay,
forests would it burn down for it to do that? We also missed another thing in the scene where Marianne is talking to Hub, where she she tells him like so she realizes she has to leave Lucky because he's a
yeah,
really
on the
bad guy.
couch.
And she's like, oh, we have to, it's really he's the only reason we're able to survive. Like we've got this nice house and the kid loves his new bedroom and like he's supporting us. It's because of him and presumably he owns the bar that they play at regularly that we can survive and that we can be. I mean, I don't know that she says self-sufficient. Maybe
No,
I'm getting that from somewhere else, but like
she
she's
says
like she's like this is going to really throw things up. Sorry.
she says I was able to quit my job and write
Mm,
music again. And
right,
Kevin
that's what
Bacon's
it
like,
is.
oh my God, you're writing music. And she's like, yes, this is really, what's the name of that fucking movie with River Phoenix? The Nashville one.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, she's like, this is really a fucking music movie because I want to write my music again. He's like, God, if you could just write your music again, honey. And yeah, but he's like, it'll be okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
She's like, what did you do to go to hell, by the way? And he's like, nothing. It's got to be a clerical error. She's like, okay, because my best friend went missing or something. Like, what the fuck is this stupid shit going to be? Because it's not going to be good. We do know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they finally get to the fucking boxcar.
Grandma calls Marianne and is like, get here now. The cops are investigating the car fire, and Beth Grant is like insanely close to the car, considering there's an investigation happening. They show up, and Kevin Bacon is asking his mom knowingly, knowing that she had something to do with it, what happened. Then Lucky comes out in handcuffs
Yeah.
and they discover that and there's a cop like holding a shotgun. So Kevin Bacon is then putting the pieces together that his mother snuck this stuff in there. She makes some comment like, well, that shot off shotgun is going to make them get a warrant to search his office more, and then they'll find the drugs.
Other way around. They found the
Oh,
meth. Somebody reported that he was dealing, so they found the meth. Probable
okay.
cause found the shotgun. If they run the shotgun, it'll be the shotgun that killed the preacher or
Yes,
whatever.
yeah.
So Kevin Bacon then says, hey, Marianne, somebody needs to tell Lucky that we're going to fucking do a quid pro quo of blackmail. And she's like, and he's like, and you're elected or something. And she's just, and it's just like, she then goes and gets in the car
Yeah.
with presumably her man of record now and is like, hey, so did you really hire those guys to kill Hub? And he's like, no.
Baby, I would never do anything like that.
And she's just like, well, what about, are you blackmailing Kitty? And he's like, ah. And she's like, I'm going to believe Kitty over you. So we are now totally done.
Yeah. And then there's a shot of Kevin Bacon cockily taking a drag of a cigarette that Hub
Yes.
sees or that Lucky sees,
And
and
she's
so
like, didn't
stupid.
you ever wonder how come Hub's back from the dead. Shouldn't you be worried about that and leave him alone?
Yeah.
Especially if you don't want us to run the thing. Go fuck yourself. Goodbye. This literally should have been some guy they both knew. She hooked up with him. He bought the son a guitar level of relationship for this breakup.
Yeah.
Instead, no, it's fucking just like she's blown up her entire life, except with less emotion than well, anyways, she's a country music star, not an actor. Uh right. Anyway,
I don't think she
so
is. I think she's an actress.
hey, it's too bad she's not played by the fucking country music star from
Raising Dad. Yeah.
I was
That
gonna
was
call it
awful.
Emily Hates Andrew and made him watch the Bob Saget show. Um, okay. So then she goes back over and we cut to her and the kid packing up their shit because they live in the boxcar.
I thought they lived in the house. Remember the last episode when they picked the kid up to go to school and they
You
were
know,
at this
she's
big
been
fancy
talking
house?
about the big
And that
fancy house
she talked
a
about the big
second
fancy
ago.
house.
But
Yeah.
no, they're packing their shit up at the boxcar and they're like, we gotta
Maybe
fucking go.
it's their professional clothing and their
Okay.
guitars and stuff. I don't know.
We then get the kid like, what's up with Lucky? And she's like, oh, I made a really bad choice with that one. And Lucky's no longer part of our lives because he's a very dangerous person. And we then see Kevin Bacon against the wall. He then goes over, gives the son a pep talk. Mom thinks that's great. The kid leaves. Kevin Bacon's like, hey, I know I'm dead and hunting demons. And we think God's probably real too, and you're going to do your career thing that I hate with a person whose name I recognized and was upset about, but that's not important. When you get back, do you want to give our marriage another shot? And she's like, all right, let's do that. And it's like, this is the end of a fucking pilot episode. This is minute 43 in your 44-minute pilot episode. Like, what are you doing with this have you never seen a television show before? And then what do we
Pick up your
get? It's
pin. Pick up your pin.
oh, that's right.
Mom is out, grandma's outside, Kitty's outside
Talking to the
talking to the
sheriff.
sheriff. And Hub comes out and she just kind of point blank asks him, like, why did you call dispatch and ask about the deputy? Like,
Yeah.
what happened? Um, and I forget what his response is, but
I found the car and was worried
oh
about
yeah,
him.
yeah, I found the car and I was worried. And then the sheriff walks away and Kitty kind of a little too loudly, but whatever, kind of says something like, that place burnt down to a cinder, right? Like there's not going to be any evidence that you had anything to do with it, right?
It'll be fine, mama.
And that's the episode. Again, with all of the problems, and there are a lot of problems, the best episode we've seen so far,
By far
by far.
the best episode.
And
We've
the
had
most
Marianne do a turnaround. Good
mhm,
thing she's leaving the show now,
yeah.
apparently.
But there's again, I think you mostly a lot of good, like promising ideas, like, oh, well, what if this happened? It's like you're starting to see chemistry between these actors that had no chemistry before. And it's like, oh, a better show would be, again, 20 years earlier, and they're all fighting crimes together, and Beth Grant is actually his sister, and like, I don't know, like much better show. Much better show. But we are halfway through. Congratulations. It's not that painful, right?
I'm so glad we're not doing them two at once.
I know.
That we would be recording for like 4 hours as we could just start talking about the fucking weather instead of going through the show.
So it looks like the episode 5 called Sliferous. You get a little bit more about Midge, the Jolene, what's her name character.
Yeah.
Um, so that's good. It's 29 minutes. That's good. Maybe there'll be more. Maybe some more will unfold. I kind of don't like that when it's like you create I don't want to use the word mystery because it's not really that mysterious. I don't actually care, except I want there to be more.
Right.
I'm not really invested, but wouldn't it be nice if? So now they're creating, answering some questions that more thoughtful watchers might have. So I'm excited about that.
Perhaps. We shall see what
Perhaps.
happens.
It is 29 minutes. Presumably, Sliferous is the name of some demon that will
Yeah.
not matter at all.
Nope.
Um,
Not a bit.
so there will still be some demon hunting, but I'd like to know more about Midge and
Yes.
her pot of gold journey. So thank you for watching, Andrew. I'm sorry I'm torturing you again. Well, thank you all for listening, folks. We'll see you next time when we talk about episode 5 of The Bondsman, Sliferous. Andrew, I will see you in television land.
See you in television land, Emily.